Aaron here and welcome to this Facebook Live. I hope you're well. Today I want to show you a practical activity, a nice quick easy setup one, easily adaptable for other year groups as well, for adding fractions. So let's take a look. Let's swap this camera around. So what you're going to need is a piece of paper, and on that piece of paper you're going to want to draw a grid. Here I've got a 6x6 grid and you can see it's called link 4. So our aim is to link 4 things together, whether they're counters. I've got little insect toys here, a wasp and a ladybird. One child can play as both counters, or you can have more than one player. I suppose you could have up to around 4 players for this game, which would make it quite interesting, especially if you've got different aged children as well, from a nice spread from say year 3 to year 6, because you can easily differentiate this game across different year groups. And then you're going to need something to generate your fractions with to add. So this is where sort of the skill bit comes in when you're setting up, so you can change and make it adaptable for different year groups, and that's based on the fractions that are there. So here you can see we've got our denominator, which is our bottom number. They're all multiples in the 3 times table, so we've got 3, 6, we've got 12. So that makes it quite handy for us to add those fractions. You could make it easier, say for lower year groups, year 3, year 4, by keeping the same denominator. They could all have 6ths, they could all be 12ths, and they're just adding fractions with the same denominator. Or you could make it even harder for sort of the likes of year 6, even children older than that year group, by including mixed numbers as well. But let's take a look how we're going to use this one. So once you've got your setup, you're going to spin your spinner, generate a fraction. We've got 3/12ths there. So you could write the fraction in, I'm going to go for this one, 3/12ths, and then we need to know what we're going to add. So we're going to spin again. We've got 2/6ths. So 3/12ths add 2/6. Now you may need to here do a little bit of working out, and this is where the maths skill comes in. So we've got to find a denominator that's the same for both fractions. So because we had multiples there on the spinner, it's quite easy for us to find one. So in this case, we know 6 goes into 12. I've got to times 6 by 2 to get to 12. So I'm just going to do it at the side here. You could maybe do the working out on a different piece of paper. So we've got 3/12ths, add 2/6. To get that one into 12ths, we need to times it by 2. So it's going to be 3/12ths, add 12ths again, because I've times the denominator by 2. Whatever I do to the bottom number, I need to do to the top number. So I need to times 2 by 2 as well, and that's 4. So I've got 4/12ths, add 3/12ths. The denominator will stay the same. The whole is going to stay the same, so our answer is going to be in 12ths. And then we add those top numbers. 4 and 3 is 7. So our answer there is going to be 7/12ths. And when that player's got that fraction right, they can put whatever counter they've got, or put that colour in that box. And the aim is to get 4. So they'll take it in turns. Player 2 may go down here, then player 1 may go again, and you can try and block as well, which makes it a bit more interesting, adds that competitive element as well. To make it a little bit harder, I mentioned you could use it for older children as well. So you could use playing cards. I'll just shift those over. You could use playing cards to generate fractions, which adds a huge random element to it. So we've got 2/3 there, add 2/4. Let me use a different color pen. So in this case, they're not part of the same times table. 4 isn't part of the 3 times table, so it's a bit more difficult. So what we're going to have to do is find a common denominator. So here we've got 2/3, add 2/4, and both of those denominators there, the lowest common denominator, lowest common multiple they both go into, is 12ths. So I want them both into 12ths. To get thirds into 12ths, I need to times it by 4. There it is. Whatever I do to the bottom number, I do to the top number. 2 times 4 is 8. So we've got 8/12ths there. To get quarters into 12ths, I've times it by 3. So whatever I do to the bottom number, I do to the top number. 2 times 3 is 6. So then I've got 8/12ths, add 6/12ths. And this is where you get your mixed number, because 8 and 6 it's going to be out of twelfths. 8 and 6 is 14. So that's more than a whole. So you could keep it as a fraction like that, 14 twelfths, or you could convert it into a mixed number like that, 1 whole and 2 twelfths, 1 and 2 twelfths. Again, write the answer in and see if they can connect for using counters, colours, or whatever you've got to hand to make it competitive. So good questions you could ask there. What's the numerator? What does it mean? What's the denominator? What does that mean? What's the lowest common denominator we can find? So some really good opportunities there for mathematical language development and a bit of competitive play as well. So I hope you found that useful. There's plenty more activities you can find over on the Classroom Secrets timetable. So do take a look.